The power of emotional presence. Emotional presence is the cornerstone of attraction and connection. Most people believe that being physically present is enough, but the truth is, what really matters is your emotional engagement. When you're fully attentive, listening with intention, responding thoughtfully and showing genuine care, you create a deep connection that lingers long after the interaction ends. Stoic philosophy teaches the importance of being present in every moment, not distracted by the past or future. This level of presence communicates stability, confidence, and trustworthiness, qualities that women subconsciously value and find highly attractive. When she senses that you are emotionally present, she starts to miss your attention when you're not around. Emotional presence doesn't require grand gestures. It is subtle, consistent, and sincere. Building desire through subtle. Flirting isn't just about playful comments or compliments. It's about creating tension and anticipation. Subtle flirting taps into the psychological principle of wanting what you can't fully have. When you use teasing, playful remarks, or slight mystery in your interactions, you create mental loops that make her think of you later. Stoicism emphasizes restraint, which aligns perfectly here. The man who knows how to restrain his attention and affection paradoxically increases desire. By giving small glimpses of interest without overwhelming her with neediness, you make her long for more, imagining scenarios with you and replaying moments in her mind. This type of controlled flirtation triggers emotional and mental engagement, making her subconsciously wish you were present. Cultivating your own life. One of the most magnetic qualities a person can possess is a fulfilling life of their own. Women are attracted to men who are busy, driven, and passionate about their goals. Stoicism teaches self-mastery and purpose, which translates into living a life that doesn't revolve entirely around another person. When she sees you thriving, pursuing hobbies, career goals, and personal growth, she experiences subtle FOMO, fear of missing out, making her wish to be part of your vibrant life. Your presence becomes something she values, desires, and misses because it enhances her own sense of excitement and engagement. By cultivating your own purpose, you make your companionship irreplaceable. The role of mystery is an age-old tool in human attraction. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand, and mystery ignites curiosity. When you reveal parts of yourself slowly, let her discover your layers gradually, you engage her imagination. Stoics emphasize control over impulses, which includes controlling how much personal information to reveal at a given time. By being slightly unpredictable, withholding just enough, and showing restraint in your attention, you trigger anticipation. She begins to think about you in your absence, imagining who you are, what you're doing, and how she fits into your world. Mystery transforms your absence into a mental presence, making her desire and miss you subconsciously. Emotional security and safety providing. Emotional security is essential for someone to feel a strong, enduring connection. Women are drawn to men who make them feel safe, understood, and validated, without being controlling or clingy. Stoicism teaches inner stability, and this stability projects outward, creating a calm and reassuring energy. When you consistently demonstrate emotional reliability, she begins to associate your presence with comfort and stability. When you're absent, her mind returns to that emotional safety, creating longing and making her wish you were with her. Emotional security is not about sheltering her from life, but being the anchor that allows her to thrive while knowing you are present in spirit. Using humor to strengthen bonds. Humor is a subtle but powerful tool for creating memorable interactions. A man who can make her laugh and feel joy triggers positive associations with his presence. Stoicism doesn't reject enjoyment or playfulness. It encourages balance. Humor reduces stress, increases comfort, and creates shared positive experiences. When she recalls your playful energy during your absence, her mind lights up with memories of fun, laughter, and connection, making her desire to be near you more intense. Well-timed humor, combined with authenticity, can make your absence feel palpable. She misses the light you bring into her life. The art of anticipation. Anticipation is a psychological principle where desire builds in the gap between interactions. Stoic philosophy teaches patience and measured restraint, which perfectly aligns with this concept. By not always being immediately available, you allow her to long for your presence. Small hints, plans, or mentions of future interactions can fuel her imagination, leaving her thinking about you during the moments you are not there. The anticipation created by your controlled absence makes your presence more exciting and increases emotional attachment. The power of compliments that hit deep. Not all compliments are equal. Surface-level remarks about looks are forgettable. To make her truly wish you were with her, your compliments must reflect deep observation and genuine admiration. Notice qualities, behaviors, or moments that are unique to her personality. Complimenting her strengths, achievements, or passions, rather than just her appearance, creates a deeper emotional connection. Stoicism encourages attention to detail and mindfulness, which can be used to make every word count. When absent, she recalls these meaningful observations, and your presence lingers in her mind. Physical presence and energy. Even in absence, the energy you project leaves a lasting imprint. Stoicism teaches mastery over oneself, including body language, tone, and emotional projection. A man who carries himself with calm, confidence, and intentionality leaves a lasting impression. When she thinks about you, it's not just your words, it's your energy, posture, and demeanor. Projecting positive, grounded energy ensures that, even when you're not there, your presence is felt, making her wish for your company. Strategic communication and timing, the way you communicate. Timing, tone, and content directly affects how much someone desires you. Stoics emphasize precision and purpose in every action, sending messages at the right time, leaving certain things unsaid, and avoiding overcommunication cultivates desire. By mastering strategic communication, you create gaps that make her reflect, anticipate, and miss your presence. This strategy leverages psychology and Stoic restraint to maximize mental and emotional engagement, ensuring that your absence is just as impactful as your presence. Mastering self-discipline is a cornerstone of attraction because it demonstrates control over impulses and an ability to prioritize long-term growth over short-term gratification. Stoicism emphasizes mastery over the self, teaching that a disciplined man radiates confidence, reliability, and inner strength. When she sees that you are focused, organized, and committed to your personal goals, she naturally admires your dedication. This admiration transforms into desire, making her subconsciously long for your presence, wanting to be part of the life you've structured with purpose. Discipline signals stability and integrity, which are traits that make your company irreplaceable. The magnetic pull of mystery. Mystery heightens interest and triggers desire because humans are wired to seek the unknown. In relationships, revealing too much too soon diminishes intrigue. Stoicism teaches restraint and awareness, which can be applied to emotional disclosure. By sharing details selectively and leaving some aspects of your life and thoughts unspoken, you create a sense of emotional tension that keeps her engaged. Mystery makes your absence feel significant because she is left imagining your thoughts, actions, and energy, causing her to think of you constantly. The art of subtle revelation ensures that your presence is memorable even when you are not physically there. Consistency. Without predictability, consistency is attractive because it shows reliability, yet predictability can be dull. Stoics advocate for steadfastness in character and behavior, while allowing flexibility in approach. In relationships, consistently demonstrating attention, care, and engagement builds trust and attraction. However, mixing in subtle surprises, unexpected messages, spontaneous gestures, or playful teasing keeps the dynamic exciting and fresh. When you balance consistency with unpredictable elements, she starts missing the thrill of your presence when you're away, reinforcing her emotional investment in you. Emotional intelligence as a tool of desire. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, regulate, and respond to emotions, both your own and others. Stoics highly valued rational self-awareness, and when applied to attraction, emotional intelligence is incredibly magnetic. By reading cues, responding empathetically, and maintaining composure in emotionally charged situations, you create a deep psychological connection. Women feel heard and understood, and this resonance makes your presence psychologically indispensable. The stronger your emotional intelligence, the more she will reflect on your interactions and crave your company when you're absent. The role of anticipation in desire anticipation fuels longing. Stoic philosophy encourages patience and the ability to delay gratification. In attraction, creating anticipatory moments, hinting at future plans, shared experiences, or surprises, keeps her mind engaged. When she's not with you, she is naturally replaying past interactions and imagining what's coming next. Anticipation turns absence into a powerful psychological tool, creating mental presence even when physical presence is impossible. By strategically spacing interactions and cultivating anticipation, you ensure she thinks about you often, increasing desire and emotional attachment. Demonstrating competence and mastery in your skills, hobbies, or career are inherently attractive. Stoics believed in excellence in one's duties as a pathway to fulfillment and respect. By demonstrating your talents and expertise without arrogance, you inspire admiration and intrigue. Competence signals independence, self-sufficiency, and leadership, all traits that women subconsciously seek. When you consistently display mastery, she associates your presence with strength and capability, making your absence noticeable and leaving her wishing she could be around your energy and confidence. Subtle physical presence, your physical demeanor communicates as much as your words. Stoicism emphasizes control of the body and mind, which translates into composed and purposeful movements. Subtle physical cues, confident posture, calm gestures, attentive eye contact, convey strength and attentiveness. Even when you're absent, the memory of your physical presence lingers. She remembers how you carried yourself, your expressions, and your gestures. This lingering impression enhances desire and makes her long for the comfort and magnetism of your presence. The balance of attention and space providing attention without being overbearing is essential. Stoics valued balance in all aspects of life and in relationships. This translates to giving someone space while showing genuine care. Overcommunication or constant availability can dilute attraction, whereas strategically giving attention while respecting boundaries creates longing. She begins to appreciate your attention more deeply and think of you when you're not around. The balance between engagement and restraint is a subtle but powerful tool to make her wish you were with her all the time. Anchoring. Positive experiences. Positive experiences anchor emotions and create desire. Stoicism teaches reflection on the present moment, appreciating actions and interactions. When you share memorable moments, fun conversations, laughter, adventurous experiences, these positive associations are stored in her mind. When you are absent, she recalls those experiences, and her mind drifts to the joy and excitement you provide. Anchoring positive emotions to your presence ensures that she not only thinks of you, but actively wishes to recreate those moments, increasing attachment and longing. Mastery of timing in communication. Timing is everything in creating attraction. Stoics emphasized deliberate action rather than impulsiveness. In communication, responding at the right moment, sending thoughtful messages or waiting before revealing key details can heighten curiosity and emotional investment. Proper timing keeps interactions impactful and memorable. By mastering timing, your words and actions linger in her mind, making her reflect on your presence long after you're gone. Strategic timing ensures that your influence is felt continuously, leaving her wishing you were with her. The power of stoic, calm and composed demeanor is incredibly attractive because it signals inner control. Stoicism teaches that one should remain unshaken by external events, and this philosophy applies directly to attraction. By remaining calm in tense situations, not reacting impulsively, and maintaining a stable presence, you create a safe and magnetic aura. Women are drawn to men who exude calm confidence, and when you are absent, the memory of that composed energy lingers. This makes her wish for your reassuring presence, feeling the calmness you project even when you're not around. Active listening. As a tool of desire. Active listening is more than hearing words. It's about truly understanding and reflecting. Stoics emphasize attentiveness and mindfulness, which can be applied to how you engage with her. When you listen actively, she feels seen, understood, and valued, creating a deep emotional connection. This connection doesn't vanish in your absence. Instead, it leaves her thinking about your insights, your attention to detail, and your empathy, making her subconsciously wish you were present. Active listening creates mental presence that lasts far beyond the conversation itself. Leveraging the recency effect psychology teaches that the last impression of the day lingers the longest. Stoic principles of mindfulness suggest that every interaction should be meaningful and intentional. By ending conversations, dates, or encounters with memorable words or actions, you ensure that she carries your presence in her mind when apart. A simple statement, playful joke, or meaningful compliment at the right moment creates mental loops, making her think about you long after you leave. The recency effect is a subtle but powerful way to ensure your absence is deeply felt. Showing subtle vulnerability, while strength is attractive, showing controlled vulnerability adds depth to your presence. Stoicism teaches self-awareness and understanding one's emotions without being enslaved by them. By revealing small truths, insecurities, or personal reflections in a confident manner, you invite emotional intimacy. When absent, she recalls the moments when you showed honesty and authenticity, which makes her crave your presence. Vulnerability, when balanced with strength, deepens connection and triggers longing. Demonstrating purpose and ambition are irresistible because they signal direction and drive. Stoics emphasize the pursuit of virtue and meaningful action. By showing focus on your goals, passions, and responsibilities, you demonstrate that your life is valuable and productive. Women are attracted to men with a vision, and in your absence, they reflect on your achievements and momentum, wishing they could be part of that purposeful life. Purpose creates admiration, desire, and the sense that your presence enriches theirs. Consistent yet dynamic energy. Being consistent in values and demeanor is important, but maintaining a sense of dynamic energy keeps interactions fresh. Stoic principles encourage stability while adapting to circumstances wisely. When you maintain steady yet engaging energy, she perceives you as reliable but also exciting. This combination creates mental tension during your absence. She remembers your vibrancy and longs for the emotional lift that being with you provides. Dynamic consistency ensures she doesn't forget your impact. Using the principle of absence. The principle of absence is powerful. When you're not always available, your presence becomes more valued. Stoicism emphasizes detachment and self-control, which can be applied here to avoid appearing over-eager. By spacing interactions, she has time to reflect on your qualities, your energy, and your words, which strengthens desire. Absence turns your presence into a psychological magnet, making her actively wish for your company instead of taking it for granted. Strategic flattery. Not all compliments are equal. Stoicism teaches truthfulness and moderation. By giving specific, meaningful compliments rather than generic praise, you validate her uniqueness and achievements. For example, noticing her intelligence, creativity, or subtle personality traits makes your words memorable. In your absence, she recalls the thoughtfulness and insight in your compliments, reinforcing emotional connection and desire. Strategic flattery ensures that she misses your presence, thinking about how you see her differently than others do. Creating shared experiences. Shared experiences create emotional anchors that linger even when you're apart. Stoics valued engagement with the world and meaningful action, which applies to creating memorable moments together. Whether it's a fun outing, deep conversation, or playful challenge, these experiences link your presence to positive emotions. In your absence, she recalls those moments vividly, wishing she could relive them with you, increasing longing and desire. Shared experiences make your presence psychologically indispensable. Balancing challenge and support. The combination of challenge and support is highly attractive. Stoicism teaches resilience and self-mastery, which allows you to challenge her in ways that encourage growth while providing emotional safety. This balance creates tension, excitement, and respect simultaneously. When you challenge her appropriately and offer guidance or support, she experiences personal growth and empowerment, which she associates with you. In your absence, she reflects on this dynamic, wishing she could continue growing alongside you, enhancing her desire and emotional attachment. Mastering the art of silence, silence can be more powerful than words when used intentionally. Stoicism teaches the importance of reflection and measured speech. In interactions, carefully choosing when to speak and when to remain silent creates mystery and intrigue. When you're not always verbalizing your thoughts or emotions, she is left reflecting on your presence, trying to understand the depth behind your words. Strategic silence makes your absence noticeable, as she thinks about what you might say next, increasing anticipation and emotional attachment. Subtle demonstrations of leadership is attractive because it signals confidence, purpose, and control. Stoic philosophy emphasizes taking responsibility for your own life. By subtly demonstrating leadership, whether in decision-making, planning activities, or guiding conversations, you show that you are capable and reliable. Even when you are absent, she recalls the moments you took the initiative, creating longing for your guidance and presence. Subtle leadership turns your presence into something she values deeply, making your absence felt more strongly. Controlled. Passion is magnetic when expressed with control. Stoicism teaches mastery over impulses, which allows passion to be focused and impactful. Whether it's passion for your work, hobbies, or interactions with her, demonstrating intense interest without overdoing it is highly attractive. Controlled passion signals that you are driven yet centered, which leaves her thinking about your energy when you are away. She will miss the intensity and focus you bring, reinforcing desire. Emotional resonance. Through shared values, people are drawn to those who reflect their core values. Stoics emphasize living in alignment with principles and virtue. When you identify and reflect shared values, integrity, honesty, or ambition, you create a deep emotional connection. This connection lingers when you're absent, because she recalls your alignment with her ideals. Emotional resonance ensures she misses your company, feeling a subtle but powerful sense of completeness when you are present. The magnetic pull of confidence. Confidence is universally attractive, but it must be grounded in authenticity. Stoicism teaches self-assurance rooted in knowledge and virtue, not ego. When you project calm, deliberate confidence in your interactions, you communicate competence and reliability. Women are drawn to confident men because their presence reassures and excites simultaneously. In your absence, she recalls the certainty and poise you displayed, making her subconsciously wish for your company, as confidence creates security and attraction simultaneously. Creating emotional peaks and valleys, human emotion responds to contrast. Stoics understood that extremes of emotion must be moderated, yet moments of intensity make experiences memorable. In relationships, alternating between moments of excitement, playfulness, and calm connection creates emotional peaks and valleys. These contrasts make interactions unforgettable, and when you are absent, she reflects on the emotional highs you created. This emotional roller coaster intensifies desire, making her long for your presence even more. Subtle humor to enhance. Recall humor is a powerful tool for building lasting attraction. Stoicism does not reject lightheartedness. It encourages joy when appropriate. A well-timed joke, playful teasing, or witty observation leaves a positive imprint on her mind. When absent, she remembers your humor, laughs silently, and replays your interactions, reinforcing a sense of connection. Humor creates emotional imprinting, making your presence hard to forget and increasing her longing when you are not around. Thoughtful gestures. That last small, thoughtful actions are more memorable than grandiose displays. Stoicism emphasizes intention in every action. By performing gestures that demonstrate attention to her needs, interests, or comfort, without expecting anything in return, you create meaningful emotional associations. In your absence, she recalls these actions and the consideration behind them, creating warmth, gratitude, and longing. Thoughtful gestures make your presence emotionally sticky, ensuring she misses the care you provide, encouraging her independence. While being present, paradoxically, supporting her independence strengthens desire. Stoics value autonomy and self-sufficiency. By encouraging her pursuits while remaining emotionally available, you create a dynamic of respect and admiration. She recognizes that you are not controlling, yet you are deeply supportive, making your presence feel empowering. When absent, she remembers how you balanced connection with respect for her freedom, and she wishes for that harmony in your company again. Leaving a psychological imprint, every interaction should leave a subtle but powerful psychological imprint. Stoics believed in acting with intention and purpose, and this principle applies here. Words, gestures, and energy that resonate emotionally become embedded in her memory. By consistently being thoughtful, confident, and present, you ensure that even when you are absent, she recalls your influence. This mental and emotional imprint is what makes her constantly think about you, ultimately wishing you were with her all the time. The impact of calm assurance. Calm assurance is magnetic because it communicates inner stability. Stoicism teaches that a man should not be tossed about by emotions or external events. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence, she senses that you are reliable and secure, which naturally makes her seek your presence. In your absence, she recalls the comfort and calm energy you exuded, creating longing and making her wish you were nearby. Subtle physical cues of presence. Physical presence isn't just about being in the room, it's about body language and energy. Stoics emphasize mastery over one's body and mind. Maintaining relaxed posture, deliberate gestures, and attentive eye contact leaves a strong impression. Even when you're absent, she remembers your physicality and the aura it projected, reinforcing emotional and mental desire. Subtle cues make your presence psychologically felt, ensuring she misses you. Creating emotional contrast drives memory and attachment. Stoicism encourages moderation, but moments of emotional intensity are impactful. Mixing calm confidence with moments of playful vulnerability, humor, or passion creates memorable experiences. These contrasts imprint in her mind, and in your absence, she reflects on these moments, deepening emotional attachment and desire. Emotional contrast ensures she is constantly thinking about you. Mindful engagement in conversation. Being fully present in conversation is crucial. Stoic philosophy emphasizes attentiveness and focused interaction. When you listen actively, respond thoughtfully, and engage deeply, you create mental and emotional impact. Even when you are absent, she recalls the depth and attention you gave, making her long for more interactions. Mindful engagement leaves her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Strategic absence builds. Desire absence, when used wisely, increases value. Stoicism teaches patience and self-control, which can be applied to interactions. By spacing contact, she experiences mental and emotional longing. She reflects on your qualities, your energy, and your presence, which magnifies desire. Strategic absence ensures that your presence becomes a mental necessity, not just a casual interaction. Anchoring emotions. Through shared experiences, anchor emotions and create lasting memories. Stoic principles of intentional action emphasize the importance of meaningful engagement. By creating moments filled with joy, curiosity, and connection, she associates these positive feelings with you. When you are absent, she replays these moments, reinforcing attachment and desire. Anchoring emotions through experiences ensures that your absence is felt emotionally. Encouraging positive self-reflection, helping her feel empowered and confident, increases attachment. Stoicism values fostering virtue and growth. By encouraging her strengths, achievements, and autonomy, you leave her reflecting positively on your interactions. In your absence, she replays the feeling of being valued and empowered, which strengthens desire and makes her wish for your presence again. Leveraging subtle teasing, when done correctly, creates mental engagement. Stoicism teaches moderation and intentionality, which can guide playful interactions. Light, teasing remarks ignite curiosity and emotional tension, making her reflect on you later. Subtle teasing leaves her mentally invested, thinking about your personality and humor, which increases her longing for your presence. Using predictable reliability with unpredictable energy. Reliability creates comfort, while unpredictable energy creates intrigue. Stoic principles of steadfastness, combined with dynamic presence, make interactions memorable. By being consistent yet exciting, she feels secure yet stimulated. In your absence, she reflects on the balance of predictability and excitement, reinforcing desire and making her miss your presence continuously. Emotional memory and lingering. Impact emotions, create lasting memories. Stoicism emphasizes reflection on actions and their effects. By cultivating emotional resonance in every interaction through empathy, humor, or support, she stores these experiences in her mind. When you're absent, she recalls the feelings you triggered, creating mental and emotional longing. Emotional memory ensures your presence is always felt, making her constantly wish you were with her. Mastery of timing is critical in creating desire. Stoicism emphasizes deliberate action, which applies to how you interact. Speaking, texting, or showing attention at the right moments creates maximum impact. When you give just enough time between interactions, she reflects on your presence and longs for more. Proper timing ensures your absence is felt deeply and your presence becomes highly anticipated. Cultivating authenticity is magnetic. Stoics champion living in accordance with nature and virtue, which translates to being genuine. When you act authentically, she senses your honesty, consistency, and confidence. This creates trust and attraction, making your absence noticeable. She begins to wish for the energy you bring, as it feels rare and irreplaceable. Subtle dominance and confidence. Controlled dominance is attractive because it signals strength without aggression. Stoicism teaches mastery over one's emotions and impulses. Demonstrating quiet confidence and leadership in interactions makes her rely on and admire your presence. When you're absent, she recalls how naturally you commanded situations, leaving her longing for your guidance and energy. Playfulness to strengthen bonds. Playful interactions release joy and create memorable moments. Stoicism values enjoyment when it aligns with virtue. Light teasing, humor, or friendly competition increases engagement. These experiences linger in her mind, and in your absence, she replays these fun moments, feeling both amused and attached, wishing she could experience them again with you. Using mystery to enhance desire. Mystery stimulates curiosity and keeps her thinking about you. Stoics teach restraint, which allows you to reveal parts of yourself gradually. By withholding complete information about your thoughts, plans, or actions, you provoke mental engagement. She begins to imagine your personality and life, which strengthens desire and makes her miss your presence constantly. Emotional resonance through shared values. Shared values create deep emotional resonance. Stoicism emphasizes living by principles, which strengthens connection when aligned with her values. When she sees your integrity, discipline, and purpose, she respects and admires you. In your absence, she reflects on these traits, associating them with safety, excitement, and reliability, which makes her wish for your company. Strategic absence to enhance. Longing, strategic absence creates anticipation and desire. Stoic principles of self-control allow you to manage your availability wisely. By being slightly unavailable at times, you give her space to reflect on your interactions and energy. Absence becomes a tool to increase emotional investment, making her thoughts naturally gravitate toward you. Emotional safety and reliability. Emotional safety is essential for building longing. Stoicism teaches inner stability, which translates into outward reliability. By consistently demonstrating calm, understanding, and support, she associates your presence with security. In your absence, she recalls this stability and feels a void, strengthening her desire and emotional attachment. Creating shared emotional peaks. Emotional highs are memorable. Stoics encourage mindfulness and engagement in experiences. Moments of intense connection, whether through laughter, adventure, or deep conversations, anchor emotions to your presence. When absent, she replays these peaks, reinforcing longing and making her wish she could relive these moments with you. Subtle reminders of your presence. Subtle reminders maintain mental presence. Stoicism teaches awareness and intentionality, which can be applied to sending small cues, like thoughtful messages, gestures, or shared references. These reminders trigger her memory and emotions, creating a persistent sense of your presence, making her constantly wish you were with her. The impact of intentional presence, being truly present in every interaction, is one of the most underestimated ways to make her wish for your company when you're absent. Stoicism teaches that every action should be deliberate and every thought purposeful. By focusing entirely on her when you're together, listening actively, making thoughtful responses, and maintaining eye contact, you create an impression that she is the center of your attention. This is not about fawning or being servile. It's about showing respect through mindfulness. Every subtle nod, smile, and expression signals that you are invested in the moment. And she feels this presence deeply, even when you are not physically there. The memory of how fully you engaged with her mind and emotions stays with her. She remembers the moments when she felt truly seen, heard, and appreciated, and these memories cause her subconscious to long for your presence repeatedly. The more consistently you provide this kind of focused engagement, the stronger her attachment becomes, and the more she mentally recreates your energy in your absence, wondering what you would say or do next in every situation, using emotional contrast to increase. Desire emotional contrast, the careful combination of intense engagement and calm detachment, is a powerful technique to keep her thinking about you. Stoicism emphasizes balance and measured responses, which can be applied here. By occasionally surprising her with bursts of playful energy, humor, or deep conversation, and then following with calm, composed presence, you create a roller coaster of emotions. This contrast leaves a lasting impression in her mind because human brains are wired to remember extremes and differences. In your absence, she reflects on these peaks and valleys, remembering the times when you made her laugh, challenged her thinking, or inspired her emotionally. She begins to associate your presence with excitement, safety, and unpredictability all at once, a combination that is highly addictive and makes her crave the moments you share together, wishing you were with her constantly to maintain that emotional energy. Building long-term emotional imprints, every interaction, even seemingly small ones, contributes to the emotional imprint you leave behind. Stoics emphasize intentional action, and when applied to relationships, this means carefully curating your words, gestures, and energy to leave a positive impact. Compliments should go beyond surface-level observations and recognize her essence, personality, and uniqueness. Thoughtful acts, like remembering what excites her or referencing shared memories, reinforce her mental association with you. When you're absent, she naturally recalls these imprints, replaying them in her mind. This continuous mental reflection strengthens emotional bonds and makes her long for your presence, as she subconsciously seeks to experience those positive emotions again in real time. The cumulative effect of intentional actions over days, weeks, and months creates a depth of desire that goes beyond fleeting attraction, turning her memories of you into something almost inescapable in her mind. The subtle power of self-mastery. Self-mastery is at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is central to making someone miss your presence. A man who has control over his emotions, impulses, and reactions projects unshakable stability, which is naturally magnetic. When you handle challenges calmly, remain composed under stress, and demonstrate confidence without arrogance, she senses a power that she subconsciously wants to be around. This is not about being dominant or forceful. It's about showing that your internal world is well-ordered and resilient. In your absence, she reflects on how centered and capable you are, and this creates a longing for the calm and security your presence provides. By mastering yourself, you become someone whose energy she craves, even when you are miles away. The role of curiosity and unpredictability. Curiosity and unpredictability stimulate the mind and maintain engagement. Stoicism teaches patience and measured action, which perfectly complements this principle. By revealing details about yourself gradually, teasing hints about your thoughts or plans, and occasionally being delightfully unpredictable, you create mental loops that she can't easily resolve. When absent, she is left imagining your next move, reflecting on your words, and wondering about your life. This active mental engagement keeps her thinking about you constantly and makes your absence feel significant. The combination of mystery, selective disclosure, and unpredictability ensures that she mentally projects your presence into her day, building emotional tension and longing. Anchoring desire through shared goals. Shared goals and experiences create powerful emotional anchors. Stoicism emphasizes purposeful action, And by engaging in activities that reflect mutual interests or aspirations, you link your presence to meaningful experiences. Whether it's planning a trip together, discussing ambitions, or collaborating on a hobby, these shared goals become memory triggers. When you are absent, she recalls the excitement, challenge, and connection associated with those shared experiences. This creates a strong desire to be near you, as she wants to continue feeling those emotions in your company. Anchoring desire through shared goals makes your presence psychologically central to her sense of fulfillment. Subtle reinforcement of value. People naturally crave that which reinforces their sense of worth. By consistently demonstrating qualities like integrity, intelligence, humor, and kindness, you subtly remind her of the value of being around you. Stoic philosophy emphasizes virtue as the path to fulfillment. And when applied to relationships, showing virtuous behavior consistently makes you unforgettable. Even when absent, she recalls the moments when your presence enhanced her life, providing not only enjoyment but emotional upliftment. This subtle reinforcement of value makes her wish she could experience your energy continuously, increasing longing and attachment. Using psychological triggers to enhance memory psychology reveals that emotions combined with sensory experiences enhance memory. Stoicism teaches mindfulness and awareness, which allows you to engage these triggers effectively. Simple touches, gestures, or carefully chosen words during shared experiences create emotional anchors. When you're absent, she recalls not only your behavior, but the emotional state it evoked, making your presence resonate mentally and emotionally. This consistent use of psychological triggers ensures that she thinks about you frequently, increasing desire and attachment. Emotional contrast and anticipation. Creating emotional contrast combined with anticipation ensures you remain mentally present, even when physically absent. Stoic principles of patience and restraint allow you to manage availability and responses strategically. By alternating moments of intensity, playful teasing, and calm reassurance, you leave her emotionally engaged. When absent, she reflects on the highs and lows of her experience with you, anticipating future interactions. This deliberate balance heightens her longing, making her wish for your presence throughout her day. The art of subtle reminders. Subtle reminders reinforce your presence even when you are not physically there. Stoicism teaches intentionality, which can guide how you leave cues in her environment. Texts, messages, shared references, or inside jokes. These small, thoughtful gestures act as mental triggers, ensuring she recalls your presence often. Each reminder strengthens emotional and psychological attachment, making her constantly wish you were with her, while reinforcing the idea that your presence adds value, excitement, and stability to her life. The magnetic effect of composure is attractive because it communicates inner control and stability. Stoicism teaches mastery over one's emotions and reactions. A man who remains calm, even in challenging situations, demonstrates that he is self-reliant and confident. When she is with you, this energy reassures and excites simultaneously. In your absence, she reflects on this grounded calmness, remembering the security and magnetism you projected. Composure becomes a mental anchor, causing her to wish for your presence whenever she feels uncertainty or tension in her own life. Engaging. Her curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most potent tools for mental attachment. Stoic restraint can be used to reveal just enough about yourself to spark intrigue without giving everything away. By leaving hints, teasing possibilities, and gradually revealing layers of your personality, you engage her mind. Even in your absence, she is mentally exploring your character, replaying moments of connection, and imagining your thoughts. This psychological engagement ensures she continually thinks about you, creating anticipation and desire that persists beyond physical proximity. Reinforcing emotional security, women are naturally drawn to men who provide emotional stability. Stoicism emphasizes mastering the self and maintaining inner tranquility, which translates into an energy of reassurance and reliability. When you demonstrate consistency, calmness, and thoughtful behavior, she subconsciously associates you with safety. In your absence, she recalls these moments of trust and security, making her long for the reassurance only your presence can provide. Emotional security strengthens attachment and builds a lasting emotional connection. Subtle playfulness. Playfulness creates emotional engagement and joy. Stoics value the proper balance between seriousness and enjoyment. And in relationships, this translates to light-hearted interactions that leave a positive mental imprint. Playful teasing, witty remarks, and shared laughter make experiences memorable. When absent, she replays these moments in her mind, associating you with amusement, charm, and fun. Subtle playfulness ensures that your presence is psychologically felt, making her wish to be with you more frequently. The importance of authenticity. Authenticity is magnetic because it communicates honesty and self-respect. Stoicism teaches living in accordance with virtue, which ensures your actions and words are aligned with your true character. By being authentic, she senses a reliability and genuineness that is rare. In your absence, she remembers the moments when you were unapologetically yourself, creating longing. Authenticity makes your presence feel irreplaceable, as she cannot replicate the emotional resonance she experiences with someone who is fully genuine. Anchoring memories. Through shared experiences act as emotional anchors. Stoic mindfulness emphasizes being fully engaged in each moment, which makes interactions memorable and meaningful. Whether through conversation, activities, or subtle gestures, the moments you create together leave a strong imprint. When absent, she recalls these experiences and the emotions they evoked, making her miss your company and desire future interactions. Emotional anchors solidify the connection and ensure your presence is constantly on her mind. Strategic use of absence can create longing if used wisely. Stoicism values patience and self-control, which allows you to manage your availability thoughtfully. By not being constantly present, you give her time to reflect on your qualities, energy, and interactions. This strategic absence enhances desire because she becomes mentally and emotionally invested. The more she realizes your absence, the more she wishes for your presence, reinforcing attachment and deepening attraction. Highlighting your uniqueness. Standing out from others is essential to make her miss you. Stoicism teaches self-awareness and virtue, which can be applied to highlighting your distinct qualities. Demonstrating unique skills, insights, humor, or perspectives makes you memorable. When absent, she remembers your uniqueness, thinking about how your presence differs from others. Highlighting your individuality ensures your absence creates mental engagement and emotional desire, making her long for your company. Building emotional reciprocity strengthens attachment. Stoicism emphasizes fairness and intentional action, which translates into giving her attention, care, and understanding while receiving the same in return. When she experiences a balanced emotional exchange, she associates your presence with fulfillment and connection. In your absence, she recalls these mutual emotional experiences, feeling incomplete without your company. This reciprocity fosters longing and a desire to be near you, enhancing emotional and mental attachment. The role of anticipation is a powerful driver of longing. Stoicism teaches patience and strategic restraint, which can be applied to interactions. By hinting at future experiences, plans, or interactions, you create a sense of expectation and curiosity. When absent, she imagines what is to come, replaying previous interactions and looking forward to future moments with you. Anticipation ensures that your presence is mentally persistent, and she wishes for your company, enhancing desire and emotional engagement. Engaging through subtle flattery leaves a long-lasting impression. Stoicism teaches moderation and intentionality in all actions. By complimenting her uniquely and thoughtfully, focusing on qualities she values in herself, her intelligence, humor, or creativity, you create a memorable mental imprint. When absent, she recalls these personalized compliments, reinforcing her emotional attachment. Unlike generic praise, subtle flattery resonates psychologically, making her think of you and wish for your presence more frequently. Utilizing Stoic presence is more than physical proximity. It's the energy and focus you bring. Stoicism emphasizes being grounded and aware in the moment. By fully engaging with her when together, listening attentively, responding meaningfully, and demonstrating calm confidence, you create a sense of magnetism. When you're absent, she mentally replays your presence, remembering the security and attention you provided. This leaves her longing for your company and heightens her emotional investment. Balancing challenge and support. Challenge and support together generate emotional tension and engagement. Stoics advocate for purposeful actions. In relationships, this means pushing for growth while providing reassurance. By challenging her intellectually, emotionally, or playfully while remaining supportive and empathetic, you create moments she reflects on even in your absence. This balance encourages her to want to impress, connect, and be around you, making your absence noticeable and enhancing desire. Creating mental loops keeps her thinking about you. Stoicism teaches reflection and restraint, which can be applied to leaving interactions open-ended or slightly mysterious. By hinting at ideas, stories, or future plans without fully resolving them, her mind becomes intrigued and engaged. When absent, she replays these loops, imagining your intentions and presence. Mental loops make your absence feel significant, ensuring she continues thinking about you constantly. The subtle art of emotional memory. Humans remember emotionally charged moments best. Stoicism encourages mindful engagement, which enhances emotional memory. By creating moments of excitement, connection, or intimacy, you leave lasting impressions in her mind. In your absence, she recalls these experiences vividly, mentally revisiting your energy, attention, and the emotional responses they triggered. Emotional memory ensures she misses your presence and reinforces her desire to be with you. Anchoring desire. With attention, focused attention creates psychological attachment. Stoicism emphasizes awareness and deliberate action, which translates into providing quality attention. By listening, observing, and responding to her needs meaningfully, you make her feel valued and seen. When absent, she reflects on the attention and care you gave, and this mental recall strengthens desire, making her wish for your company even more. Using humor to create. Affection humor increases attraction and leaves lasting emotional imprints. Stoicism doesn't discourage joy. Instead, it encourages mindful enjoyment. By engaging her through playful jokes, witty remarks, or light teasing, you create positive emotional connections. In your absence, she recalls the laughter and delight, which reinforces affection and desire, making her wish she could experience your humor and energy again. Creating emotional peaks, emotional highs, make interactions memorable. Stoic principles of mindfulness allow you to intentionally create excitement, connection, or intimacy during your time together. These peaks become embedded in her memory, and when absent, she replays these moments mentally, enhancing desire and longing. Emotional peaks anchor her attachment to you, making your presence feel irreplaceable and continuously desired. The subtle power of scarcity increases value. Stoicism teaches restraint and measured action, which allows you to manage availability strategically. By not being constantly accessible, she has time to reflect on your qualities, energy, and interactions, which strengthens emotional and psychological desire. Scarcity makes your presence feel more precious, ensuring she thinks about you often and wishes for your company more intensely. Reinforcing connection. Through shared vision, sharing a vision or goals strengthens attachment. Stoics emphasize purpose and intentional living, which can be applied to relationships. By including her in your plans, aspirations, or dreams, even subtly, you anchor her emotions to future shared experiences. In your absence, she imagines herself as part of this vision, reinforcing longing and desire. Shared vision creates a lasting mental presence, making her wish you were with her all the time to continue the journey together.